Hello, this will be a channel message for you, for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. I really appreciate you being here with me in this moment, and as always, I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. It is such a good time right now to check in with yourself and just take that really nice deep breath. Notice where you might be holding any tension, maybe in your face, in your throat, in your shoulders, right? Just notice. All you got to do is notice. Let's just relax into this, and I think this is just going to be a nice, no pressure, chilled out kind of reading today. I'm really feeling that. And a very clear message right off the bat is coming through, and it's about your worth. It's about your value. And the message is that you are inherently worthy, full stop. And it doesn't matter where you're at in this process that we call life. It doesn't matter if it feels a bit messy right now, or if things feel a little bit incomplete, or you're healing a certain aspect of yourself and you recognize where you'd like to put some work into yourself and pour some energy into yourself. You are so worthy of being supported, so worthy of being guided. And your higher self and spirit, they want the best for you. Your higher self is you. So it's totally got your back in all of this. And you can give yourself permission to take that deep breath. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You've got time. Yeah, that's it, right? You've got time. And you're going to be able to take everything one step at a time. And everything's going to be sweet, right? It's okay to give yourself permission to be a human being, not necessarily a human doing, right? There's nothing wrong with taking action. This channel was built on consistent action, you know what I mean? Like just showing up every day and doing the thing. But what I find is that when we push too hard, sometimes we get a bit excited and we try to take control of the whole thing. We don't get to where we want to go any quicker, right? Give yourself permission to have this new start that's available here for you now. I'm getting a lot of new energy. Something's like being kind of busted open right now is what I'm getting. Like the whole game's changed kind of vibe. And I think that's why you're being asked to relax and just really ground yourself into this. Because like I said, you have time. And spirit kind of wants to take you somewhere right now. Like at the entrance stone, new beginnings, step forward, expansion. Some of you guys are being seen in a way that you've never been seen before, on a scale that you're not necessarily used to. And you're trying to regulate your nervous system through all of this. Maybe new job, new work environment, new home for some of you, new relationships. I'm getting new technology, right? New phone, new laptop. Very nice, okay? And this is expansion. This is you being aligned with this new start. You're ready for this. You've increased your capacity to hold these things. And the nervous system thing is really pinging me here. I think there's a big message here about your ability to stay regulated in your body, in your own energy, and have those energetic boundaries is a big part of the timing of all of this. It's why you're being given access to these new spaces. And on the bottom of the deck, I get lay it on the altar. Hand it over, soften, surrender, and forgive. And what did I say? Like, Spirit wants to take you somewhere here. Your higher self is taking the wheel, and all you got to do is show up. Feel yourself in your body, stay relaxed, stay calm, take intuitive action when it's required, because this is going to be high leverage action, and this is how you're going to find yourself in the situations that are for you. This is how you're going to find yourself in these situations that are directly aligned with your higher self and your soul's blueprint. And when we feel a bit discombobulated and rushed and acting from lack, which compels us to take control in a negative way, that's really, it's the ego and it's these fears trying to take control, and it gets in the way of what the divine really has for us. So this is your confirmation, guys, that it's all happening for you. Let's go. It's a major new start, and it's a new start where you get to receive. A big part of this is trust. A lot of it comes down to trust and faith in the divine. And again, giving yourself permission to relax into the flow and slow down enough to receive. Because you're worth it. You're worth it, full stop, right? And that's what this message is all about. Maybe some kind of full moon practice here is going on, some kind of ritual element to this. Lay it on the altar, right? Like working on your space, on your environment, working on some kind of altar. And I get the 7 of Cups in your current situation. So faced with some choices here. And it's almost like all of these different choices might actually be pulling you out of that flow state and affecting the relationship that you have with your higher self and the divine. And it could be uninspiring when you're faced with, it's like too many options. There could be some kind of like option paralysis going on here. And there's been a big message coming through about simplifying, right? Just scaling it back. And I'm getting, you guys are aware of this and you've been working with this energy, right? And then I get the 9 of Cups, which is really beautiful. So I think there's some real potent truths that are coming into your conscious awareness right now as you access this flow state, as you deepen into the surrender, as you trust that this new beginning is here for you, and you're accessing some aspect of yourself, or it's like it's some kind of alignment with the soul self, which is giving you the key. If you can see on this card here, this woman's holding this key, like the key to this new start, being able to emerge and step forward and expand into these new spaces that you have access to, is when you're faced with these choices, I feel like you've been coming back home to yourself and your own energy and just prioritizing how you feel. Staying emotionally centered and aligned and coming back to that soul's truth that you are the creator of your reality. So it's like, all right, I don't necessarily have to put all of this pressure on myself to make the right decision. I just have to come back home to my energy, take that big, deep breath, see my worth, see my value, and look around and see just how supported I really am in this life, just through these little pieces of evidence and this synchronicity. Coming back home to that then allows you to make the right choice intuitively. Because this is the cups, right? 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups. This is about our intuition and these deep feminine spaces, these soft spaces. And there may be a collective here that has so much love to give and has had to deal with betrayal, oppression, having their power taken away, right? Like feeling isolated, feeling like the black sheep, right? All of these major processes and tests in a way that you've gone through in your life. And I mean, you've moved through it with so much grace and grown and blossomed into this new, beautiful self, right? All of these experiences have created a hardening of the heart and a closing up of the energy and the body, you know, the posture, the frame. There's been a hardening. And now, through this kind of recent set of experiences that you've been going through lately, there's been an opening and a softening into life, a softening into the flow, and starting to dictate, not through harsh, rigid control, but just, I think, through seeing your worth, dictating these new terms of the relationship that you want to have with life. Seeing yourself as somebody who's supported. Developing a new relationship with life where life takes you on a journey. And it's fun. It's full of nice surprises, you know, it's full of joy, it's full of excitement, it's full of real connection. Something again about new relationships here. People coming in to match you. Because there's this new level of self-mastery when it comes to your own personal happiness and some level of contentment here. And I get the 6 of Cups coming out. You can see the dog on this card. I mean, this is a big message here about companionship. Maybe something about old friendships, like when you were really, really young, that real pure, innocent sense of relationship that we have when we're children, right? It's like there's a message here about people coming through to match your frequency and vibration, new relationships here, because there's this fertile, feminine, soft kind of energy that you're embodying, and it's like you're open to receiving these relationships now. And it's what happens is, like, when we oscillate at a certain frequency, at a certain vibration, it affects our perception, and it actually changes the way that we behave in a really subtle way. And it's, as an example, like, you might be out in a public place or wherever, it doesn't matter, right? But if you're kind of oscillating at a lower vibration here, in that moment in time, you might look left and you see a certain thing that reflects back to you evidence of your vibration. If you're oscillating at a higher vibration, in that moment in time, you might choose to look right. Like, just on this level of your body and what you're compelled to do in that moment, you just might look in another direction, which then opens you up to seeing something else, seeing a different person, seeing a different situation, right? Like, that's how our frequency acts through us in certain ways. And there's a certain frequency that you're embodying here. It's one of the Empress. It's one of being fertile, seeing your value, seeing your worth, seeing that, okay, like, I'm ready. I'm at a point now where I want to start to channel divine energy through me and create something new. You know, align with this new start. Bring something to life. Birth something into existence here. This is your energy. And it's attracting in like-minded people. Soul tribe, right? People who match you. And then this may have been like a whole life's journey for you because you're rare. Like, I'm talking to somebody who's really special. Who's really unique. Who has something really magical to offer to the world. And you deserve to have people who align with this magic and want to share this magical frequency with you. And that's the Six of Cups. Like, it's a gift from spirit. It's deep emotional connection. It's magic. It's Scorpio energy. It's beyond the surface. It's below the surface here. And I'm getting something about, like, you know, deep conversations. Like, I think I'm talking to somebody who's not super interested in the surface level kind of stuff here. And maybe that's why there's been this movement through some kind of Seven of Cups situation right now, because you're not just going to pick something based on the surface level, right? You go deep. You go deep into it and you look at this option and you go, okay, what is that about? Where does that lead me? What's the energy behind this option? You know, this thing over here, what does that look like for me? Is that a match? You know, it's like you go deep into this stuff. And the key to all of this now is you're coming back home to yourself and not giving your power away to things that are external to you. It's like, is this thing a match to me? Is this thing worthy of having me in its experience? You know what I mean? Like, not from an ego kind of way, but it's like, are we a match? Is this thing in my flow state? You know, there's a big message here about discernment, emotional discernment, intuitive discernment here. And it's like some of you are, it's like a childhood dream or a wish or something that's coming to fruition here, but it requires trust. It requires some kind of like trust fall here, or a breaking out of some kind of program that we've developed through that adolescent, I'm getting teenage years. Like, we've gone from this pure, innocent, childlike state of just playing in the sandbox of life and just being free to create without expectation, without a plan, without judgment, without attachment. It's just playful, childlike creation, right? We've moved from that into a state of, you know, acting from trauma, acting from other people's expectations, acting from other people's projections, through really difficult experiences through those adolescent years, right? We've learnt to conform. We've learnt how to harden our heart and close up and protect ourselves. And this next step for you as you start to attract in these ideal, divinely inspired and guided relationships, the next step for you is to really let go of these old programs, these old expectations, these limitations, and really embrace some kind of contrarian view here. Alice in Wonderland might be significant. Just asking these questions, why? Why does this thing over here, why does it have to be that way? This program that I'm running, or this certain reaction or response that I have to something, why do I have to respond in that way? You know, and doing this without any kind of shame or guilt, just being really curious about it. Why do things have to be this way? Alice in Wonderland's a really good movie for that. Just questioning everything. Why are things the way that they are, right? And this is how we get wise. This is how we develop wisdom and we become wise, by asking lots of whys. And every time you reach that deeper layer of something, okay, why do I play things out in this kind of way? And you answer that question. Okay, why? And then you go deeper under that layer. And then you ask again, why? Just play the why game, right? The first time somebody played that game with me was years ago. And I met this really, really interesting character who was in my life for like a week. And then like some kind of earth angel just disappeared and I never saw him again, right? But I sat down with him one day and he would just ask me, why? And I'd answer and he'd say, why? And I'd answer that question and he'd say, why? And this went on for like 10 or 15 minutes, right? And it was just like absolutely infuriating at the time. Because it was at a pivotal point of my spiritual transformation where I started to really question everything and the programs that I was running, right? And I was breaking out of some kind of rigid pattern. And in a way, it doesn't end. Like, it's a lifetime's journey. And just because I went through that experience years ago doesn't mean that to this day, I still don't need to show up and ask myself, why? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? It's just this ever-evolving, ever-expanding process. And the whole point of this message is that you've reached a point of expansion. Like, you've reached some kind of a next level here. Get ready for liftoff is what I'm hearing, because Spirit's taking you. Your higher self is taking you. And this is why you're being asked to take a time out, do less, simplify, retreat back into that cave if you need to, and just continue to come back home to your own energy and ground yourself in your own energy. So you're going to have the energetic and intuitive discernment in order to make these decisions as things progress. There's going to be a lot of options available for you right now. And it's almost like you've been going through some kind of Seven of Cups experience as a bit of a primer, a little bit of a tester, a little bit of a taste test here. And it's showing you, okay, this is how we make decisions. And this is what happens when we listen to our intuition and we go with this flow and we trust that life is happening for us and it's happening through us. It's not necessarily happening to us per se, right? Even though when you're in it, when you're deep in the weeds, guys, it does not feel that way. And if you're going through it right now, I'm sending you all of my love. Don't worry. I'm sending you all of my love. And it comes back to what I was saying. There's no shame here. You don't have to put so much pressure on yourself to have it all figured out. And you are so worthy and deserving of having help with all of this stuff, having support as you move through life. And this reading is saying, get ready for this next step. Get ready for the next stage of the game where you really continue on this journey of getting everything that you want to get in your life, everything that is aligned with your soul self, your soul's true desires. And anything that feels like a burden right now, like it's too heavy, it's too much. Do I even like this anymore? Do I even want this anymore? This message is saying it's a time to trust fall away from that in a way that feels safe, not too far outside of your comfort zone, but we're crossing over that threshold here. We're expanding into a new energy and slowing down, being really deliberate and looking after yourself and really prioritizing the self-care at this moment in time. That's the thing that's going to get you to where you want to go. So I get the Four of Wands in your energy, which is really beautiful, hey? Like, it's really visionary, but it's really safe. And it's like you've reached it's like you've reached this level. You're feeling at home in this new level. It's like, what am I talking about? Like, you guys got this. You guys got this, eh? Like, you're feeling at home in this new space, attracting in these new relationships. And maybe this Fool in Reverse is speaking about, like, this is kind of like a new paradigm for you entirely. This is like an entirely new way of being. One where we get to move in a way that feels good in our system. Where we get to move in a way that feels emotionally fulfilling, and we get to attract in, using that beautiful divine feminine energy, attract in experiences that are for us, that make us feel good, that make us feel like celebrating. Attracting in community, like-minded people, relationships, fun, right? Having a party, having a good time, right? Kicking back. That's it, like, and you're in this energy, and the reality that you're living in has no choice but to match you in that, guys. Maybe the self-worth was some kind of piece of the puzzle that we've like been working with lately, and it can be so easy to fall back into that trap of looking around and seeing what other people are going through in life, you know, on their own journey, and really questioning, is it selfish of me to think that I deserve, like, peace, harmony, celebration? And the answer is no. Like, this is your journey. This is your reality. You're worthy of being able to see yourself in that way. And I get the world in the way that you're taking action right now. And it's got some real nudity on this card. I actually can't really show this because the last time I showed a card like that, YouTube was not super happy about it. But this is the masculine energy that you're embodying right now. It's like Four of Wands and the world. You're 100% celebrating like some kind of milestone here. It might be a milestone that involved energetically letting go of a previous relationship. Two of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck here. There may be somebody that you've had to separate yourself from and walk away from because they are affecting your ability to connect with the divine with this like fountain card on the bottom of the deck. Like, it was affecting your intuition, and you made the decision to pour into yourself and process some kind of like really difficult emotional material here. Three of Swords, like healing from some kind of grief as you've walked away from some kind of relationship. And now it's like you're in this new like vibe. You're in this new space. That previous relationship, it could be a job or like some kind of situation, because we have relationships with our workplace, we have relationships with certain substances, certain behaviors, like anything that we perceive to be outside of us, we're in relationship with that. So there's some kind of major change that's taken place in a relationship. You've walked away and you found yourself in this like brand new energetic position, this new space, and I'm just getting the inspiration now is just flowing through you, the creativity, right? That Empress energy, tapping into your self-worth, and then all of a sudden there's all of this energy. There's all of this expansive energy and all of these creative ideas and inspired ideas and inspiration, and it's just like the Queen of Cups on you, on the feminine side of your energy. Like, you've got it all going on, guys. Seriously. This is wild. You've got it all going on. This is amazing. And I think the starting point for all of this was just like slowing it down, taking that big deep breath and reconnecting with your own personal energy and connecting to that intuition. The Queen of Cups on the feminine side of the spread, like so psychic here, like you're so tapped in right now, guys. And the Queen of Cups is so nurturing, so soft. There's a sensual quality to all of this. The Four of Wands, the world, like I'm saying, celebrating some kind of milestone. Like, give yourself permission to just look around and be grateful for everything that you've accomplished. You've closed out a major cycle right now. Or you're in the process of doing it. You're very close. If you don't resonate with that and you feel like you're in the process of closing it out, I mean, this is your confirmation that you're doing it. The world coming out upright and the Four of Wands in your energy. Something to do with the home. You know what I mean? And I get the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So this is what I was saying, like, when I was talking about before, like, prepare for liftoff, right? Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is saying things are really going to start landing for you. Different opportunities. Choices that you're going to have to make. You're going to have to say no to some of these things, right? You're going to have to keep checking in with yourself and asking these questions. Is this aligned with me? Is this in flow with me? Maybe is this taking me to where I want to go? But then again, it's like we got to be really open about the how. I think Spirit wants to take care of the how. Right now, Spirit wants you to clear out the clutter. Frog Spirit. The Frog Spirit wants you to clear out the clutter. And frogs just like, they take leaps forward, right? But they're not necessarily in a rush. Like, frogs are pretty chill, right? They're just kind of moving at their own pace. And then when they're ready, they just take that leap. And that's what's happening here. I mean, new beginnings, step forward. Expansion. Some of you guys are just leaping forward. I mean, Eight of Wands is like breaking out of stuck patterns, breaking out of stagnancy, moving quick, moving in a way that's inspired. That part of our mind, that Mercury energy, wants to have all of the answers. But the Sagittarius energy is so expansive, so visionary, so inspired, and really motivated. Really ambitious, you know, is Sagittarius. So it's all happening for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to read the Spirit card, because I love the Frog Spirit card. Comes out quite often, actually. And what I've been finding for me is that it feels like I've been decluttering all year. Like, you know what I mean? Shedding these layers and, you know, clearing things out of my space that I don't need. And just, you know, like this card was saying, coming back home to that cave and coming back to your own energy and getting clear on what is aligned with you. Feels like I've been doing it all year. And then I find myself in a point where, you know, I'm deepening into my own energy in a way that I've never done before. Again, I find that new layer. And then there's other things around me that were always there. But now, from this new position, it's too noisy. Not aligned. Creates friction. Feels toxic. Feels just not for me. Doesn't bring me joy. Part of me maybe a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago wanted these things, and now it's like, well, just don't want it anymore. I'd rather be present. Like, I'd rather feel connected to myself. I'd rather feel at peace. I'd just rather feel at peace than having all of this stuff around me, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's a message for some of you guys. This Frog Spirit says that the Frog Spirit knows that while all the other frogs are croaking away, this is the time for you to simplify and declutter your life so you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total cacophony, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. Then the next thing we know, our schedules and homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making and objects taking up valuable space. And even relationships need decluttering. And all of this stuff, these are things that affect your nervous system. It all comes back to the nervous system. And when the nervous system is too aroused and it's too excited and it feels like it has to be on guard to protect, we're not open to making these intuitive decisions where we end up in the right place at the right time. And we're not necessarily open to receiving what is best for us, right? Frog Spirit appears to tell you to clean house, prioritize what you need, and get rid of or give away the rest so you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Now is the time to let go. Whatever you need will appear when you need it. So release your grip on all that clutter that is making you feel anxious and burdened. Frog Spirit wants you to reclaim your space, unencumbered by shoulds, oughts, and could have beens. Let go and jump. You are free from all of that old stuff. Let's go, guys. Beautiful message here. And you're doing amazing. This is really profound work. And I mean, we've all come such a long way. I say it in every reading. Like, almost. You know, what a year it's been. And here we are, deepening into presence, into peace, and getting really clear on what we want to experience in our life and where we want this whole thing to go. You know, giving ourselves permission to live a life of joy, abundance, wealth, being supported, feeling secure, feeling like we can trust in the divine. You know, really taking a countercultural approach here and saying, you're worth it, no matter what. So with that being said, let's totally leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, clean, open, celebratory, intuitive, magical space with me. Space, right? Let's normalize that. Let's normalize empty space, the pause, the silence. Normalize that silent pause, guys. There's so much healing in that. And with that being said, I absolutely cannot wait to do it all again in the next reading. So much love to you guys. Bye-bye.